Welcome back. In this video, we are going to solve another one of the important programming challenge of Hackerrank. And name of this programming challenge is Find Merge Point of Two List. In this programming challenge, we will get input as a two different linked list, and we have to and at certain point these two linked lists will get merged, and we have to find out that certain point have to return the data in which that linked list got merged. For example, let's say this is a two different linked list, 1 to 3 and 1 to 3, and we can see it here that at certain point it is getting merged. So we have to find out that certain point and return the data. So here in this example, 2 is the point where it got merged. So output of this example will be 2. Okay, so this will be our answer. Now let's take one more example to understand the same problem in a little bit more depth. Okay, now in this programming problem, what I will do, 1, which is going to point to 2, 2 is going to point to 3, all right, 3 is going to point to null. All right, now the next linked list, what it will be 1, and it is going to point to 3. So two different linked lists. Again we can see that 1 and 3, 1 2 and 3 and 1 3. Okay, so here the merging point is 3. Okay, so our returning output will be 3. So this will be our answer, 3. So we understood the problem. Okay, and we also saw what type of output we will provide. We will be provided as a int output, that will be in integer output form. Okay, now let's see the constraints of this problem. Constraints are that at each whatever input we will, two different input we will get at certain point, get merge. Okay, that is one point we need to consider. Another one is, if we say head 1 is one linked list and head 2 is the reference of another linked list, then one situation will never be come as that head 1 and will be null. This situation will never come. Head 1 and head 2 always will have some data and they are never going to merge. Another thing is, the initial point of head 1 and head 2, the required given input will be never be equal. Okay, these 3 points we need to remember while working on this logic. So we saw the problem, we also saw the constraint. Now let's solve this programming challenge with the help of Java. To solve this problem, what we will do, we will take previous example as our input. Previous example is, okay, now here I can consider two different linked lists as an input. For example, head 1 will be one linked list and head 2 will be another linked list. These 2 points we can consider. Head 1 has 1 3 and head 2 has 1 2 3. So we can see that head 1 what I talked about, that initial points should never be equal. Here 1 3 is there and here 1 2 3 is there. Okay, so these two are completely different linked lists. So to check this one, what we can do, we can check one by one. Okay, for that one going to check with through that, after that this, and after that the next list. Same thing what I am going to with that, 3 to 1 is not equal, 3 to 2 is not equal, 3 to 3 is equal. We can see that here this list to this list it is equal. If it is equal, then return their merge point. So to check with every data we can use nested loop, and through nested loop I can compare with that which list is equal to which list, and if when they will get equal, I will return their data of it. So let's go to our STS Spring Tool Suite, and here what am I going to do, I am going to write one nested logic here, for loop. Another one is for inner for loop, and here I am going to write singly linked list node. Type will be, let's say, list 1 in which I'm going to store head 1. Okay, and the condition the second condition, it will be iterate the value until and unless list 1 not equal to null. Third is list 1 equal to list 1 dot next. Through that the data is going to iterate. Okay, first loop is got completed. Now let's write the second loop. Here I am going to change the reference name. It is from 1 to 2, and now we are going to point out the next input, that is head 2. Done. Two different lists are now checking. Now whenever list 1 equal to list 2 matches, that means we found our merging point. And whenever we found out this one, then in that scenario we are going to return list 1 or list 2 data, because both will be the same. So we know that head 1 and head 2 according to the constraint will never be null, right? So in that scenario, no matter what happens, we will always return something. This condition will never go false. So for that, what I'm going to do here, I have to return something. So I'm going to just take return, let's say 0, because it will never reach this point. So this is the logic that I have written to solve this problem. So what am I going to do? First of all, I'm going to execute our code, and whatever the logic that we practiced, we'll pass that as an input. So according to that input, output should be 3, correct? So here I can see that result is 3. So I think the logic that we have written nested for each loop to check each and every list, that is correct. Okay, this logic works perfectly fine. So what am I going to do next? Next, I am going to copy this code and paste into Hackerrank console to check that all the sample test cases are getting successful or not. So let's copy the code here. Let's go to Hackerrank console and paste our code. Okay. So sample test case 0 and sample test case 1 got successful. We are getting the exact output that what we wanted. Now let's submit our code. Okay, all the test cases got successful. So the logic of nested for each loop, that what we have written here, is completely correct. So through that, this is the end of this video. Again, in the next video, we are going to cover another one of the important programming challenge of Hackerrank. So stay tuned and keep watching Adhyan channel. And one more important point, I am going to upload all the practice code in the GitHub, and GitHub link I'll give in the description section. Okay, thank you.